We're going to chop it up. We're talking about what it takes to be a man, particularly in today's world. You're the guy for the job here. So there's a poll by American YouGov, and it showed that younger men are less likely than older men to identify as completely masculine. Celebrities like David Beckham and Jude Law have been reducing the stigma attached to male grooming. So is it time to rethink our definition of masculinity? We start with you, Steve. What do you think?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different definitions of it, but I do think that it should change, because it was like when I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, it was like, you know, men were, you know, expected to do certain things. And I was just saying offset how, like, as a strong man, you never talked about your own problems and, you know, and shared. And that can lead to problems, you know what I mean? So I do think that the whole male thing and being equals, you know, like my mother and father were not equals. My dad called the shots. So, and me and my wife now, we're equals. And so I do think that the transformation of what, you know, being a man is changing, and I think in a positive way.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point. Equality. Would you call yourself a feminist?
No, only because I don't know what that means.
Oh, but I believe men and women should be equal.
Well, listen,
I'm with you. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
And here the thing is, when I talk about, like, my wife, and I really mean this, she's the talented one. She's the one who does all the work. I show up on set and, you know, I do my show and that's it. She's the one who really, I'm only as good as how she makes me. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe in equality. And then, like I said, in my marriage, we're totally 50-50, you know? I mean, it's probably more like 52-48, and she's 52.
There you go.
So,
she's got the majority stake.
A little bit.
Depends on the day in my relationship.
But I think it's interesting what you say about feminism. Like, how would you define, I guess, my question? What's the definition?
I would say if you believe that men and women should be equal, if they should get paid the same amount for equal work, then you're a feminist.
And to me, that's not feminism, that's humanity. I just think that's kind of what I think Steve was saying.
It's almost shocking, like we say with the pay scale.
It should be
a lot of, and I've had this conversation with a lot of men, and just to share what I learned from it, Carly, a lot of people feel like feminism, being a feminist, has this negative connotation to it because of what it's been historically. I feel like now we're kind of in this new age of feminism where even the word itself kind of needs some new redefining.
I agree.
Which is a whole nother conversation. But back to the masculinity conversation. I guess I would like to see it more so happen inside with men, redefining what that masculinity looks like on the inside, more so than I care about the outside and who wears what and how people walk out into the street. Because I just see the toxic masculinity, like you said, of men holding so much in and not expressing their emotions or having emotional stability or emotional education, like to be astute and in tune with their emotions and not realizing, not knowing how to express that. That's what I would like to see.
The way I was raised with all these institutions of, like, being in the military, being a Chicago police officer, where there was all these stereotypes of what a man is supposed to be, and you feel the need to live up to that stereotype. Well, then you get to a certain age like I'm at where I don't care about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to live up to any stereotype, whatever. I am who I am. I try to be empathetic. And like I said, the biggest problems that came in my life was because I felt like if I had a problem, I couldn't share it with anybody. I couldn't talk about it. And now I realize everybody needs somebody to like talk about and share. And
there's so much strength in showing that vulnerability and sharing that with other people so that we can all bring each other up.